Hey, good morning and welcome to a regular meeting of a panel of utility commissioners and staff of the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, also known as PURA, held today, Wednesday, April 27th at 10 a.m. by remote teleconference. My name is Chairman Marissa Gillette, and I'm joined virtually today by my colleagues, the Vice Chairman Jack Bukowski and Commissioner Michael Karen. We have a regular calendar as well as a consent calendar in front of us today. We will turn first to the regular calendar, and first up on the regular calendar is docket number 080914 REO2, the application of discount power for an electric supplier license, an investigation into their marketing. So I will turn to Attorney Kate Keenan with Authority staff for a presentation of the decision for the panel's consideration, please.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chairman Bukowski, and Commissioner Karen. In this decision, pursuant to sections 4-181A subsection A and 16-9 of the General Statutes of Connecticut, the Public Utility Regulatory Authority amends its March 9th, 2022 final decision in this proceeding to adopt the terms of the settlement agreement filed on April 6th, 2022 by the Office of Education, Outreach, and Enforcement and Discount Power, Inc. Specifically, in this decision, the authority amends section 3 and the 4 enumerated orders of the March 9th, 2022 decision in accordance with the settlement agreement. The settlement agreement resolves discounts pending administrative appeal to the Connecticut Superior Court of the March 9th, 2022 decision, subject to the orders in the decision, which include that upon issuance of the decision, discount surrender its electric supplier license to the authority and is permanently withdrawn from the Connecticut electric supplier market, that no later than 5 days from the date of issuance of the decision, discount withdraw its appeal of the authority's March 9th, 2022 decision, and that no later than 10 days from the date of issuance of the decision, discount pay $800,000 to Eversource and $200,000 to UI, which the EDCs are required to use to fully pay down the EDC's largest non-medical hardship customer arrearage, then move on to fully pay down the second largest non-medical hardship customer arrearage, et cetera, until the EDCs fully disperse the payments received from discount. I recommend adoption of the decision to the panel. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Attorney Keenan. I will seek a motion to adopt the decision, please.
I move adoption, Madam Chairman.
Chairman, I would second.
Thank you. The decision has been regularly moved and seconded. If there are no questions or comments, then I would ask Mr. Bumpin to please take the roll. Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Karen?
Yes.
Thank you. The decision has been adopted. We will turn next to the second item on today's regular calendar, docket number 210824. The petition of William Tong, Attorney General for the State of Connecticut in the Office of Consumer Counsel for an investigation into Eversource Energy regarding gas expansion marketing. Specifically, we are here today to consider a final decision regarding the system expansion plan. So I'll turn to Attorney Kate Keenan to present the final decision for the panel's consideration this morning.
Morning again. In phase 2 of docket number 210824, the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority undertook a review of the gas company's natural gas infrastructure system expansion plan to determine if the system expansion plan continues to be consistent with the state's comprehensive energy strategy in the provisions of Title 16 of the General Statutes of Connecticut. Pursuant to sections 4-181A and 16-9 of the General Statutes of Connecticut, the authority finds in this decision that changed conditions since the inception of the system expansion plan and the authority's November 23rd, 2013 decision in docket number 130602 and decisions in all related dockets warrant an immediate winding down of the system expansion plan. Specifically, the authority finds that first, the benefits of conversions to natural gas do not outweigh the ratepayer impacts associated with the system expansion plan. Second, the prices of natural gas and oil have consistently converged instead of diverging. Third, the conversion rates have decreased and never achieved the projected penetration levels or those required to justify a ratepayer subsidized program. And four, the system expansion plan no longer furthers the state's overall climate and energy goals. As such, the continuation of the system expansion plan is no longer in the best interest of ratepayers. Consequently, effective upon issuance of the decision today, the authority orders the immediate winding down of the system expansion plan by 1, ending the enrollment of new customers in the system expansion plan program effective the date of the decision, other than those customers identified in the decision who may qualify for incentives under the current system expansion plan, if such identified customers execute a services agreement with a gas company on or before the date established in accordance with Section 3B1 of the decision. 2, assigning 100% of surplus non-firm margin to offset the rate base of the gas companies. And 3, directing the gas companies to cease all outbound and passive marketing regarding the system expansion plan. I recommend adoption of the decision to the panel. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Attorney Keenan. I will seek a motion, please.
I move adoption, Madam Chairman.
Second.
Thank you. The decision has been regularly moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments?
Just very briefly, I was around in November of 2013 when this docket was put into effect, was passed. At the time, it was a great idea. Everybody was supportive of it. But, when we do these things, they're eventually supposed to phase out. And when we continue them, it's always on the backs of ratepayers. So I think this decision is timely. I think it's well thought out. I commend the staff and all the parties for the work that they did on it. And people can still get natural gas if they want. And the ones that there was an article in the paper today that Avangrid and Eversource are not happy with this. But the fact is that people that they've had 8 years, and if people are in the queue to sign up, they can. And if not, they can just sign up as they normally would with the gas program. So again, we have many programs that have incentives usually on a short-term basis. This has been almost 9 years, and I think its inception was successful. But as Commissioner Keenan said, circumstances have changed. So with that, I certainly support the decision.
Mr. Karen, any comments? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. I largely echo your comments. I too saw the article, and frankly, if the last paragraph of that article is how the company feels, if they wish to appeal this to Superior Court, that's certainly their right. I would look forward to having closer scrutiny on how the program did not deliver on its promises to ratepayers. So with that, I will call for the vote.
Chairman Gillette,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Bukowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Thank you. The decision has been adopted. We'll turn to the third item on today's regular calendar, docket number 21-1005, PURA's review of the State of Connecticut Telecommunications Relay Service. We'll turn to the Director of Adjudications, Mr. J. John Francisco, to present the decision for the panel's consideration.
Thank you. Good morning, Chairman Gillette, Vice Chairman Bukowski, Commissioner Karen. This is docket 21-1005, PURA's review of the State of Connecticut's Telecommunications Relay Service. This docket concerns the award of a 5-year contract to provide telecommunications relay service, otherwise known as TRS, in the state of Connecticut. TRS provides, among other things, hearing and speech impaired users the ability to communicate with persons using a telephone for voice communications. All telecommunications service providers offering services in Connecticut, including commercial mobile radio service and voice over internet protocol providers, contribute to the funding of the TRS program. In this decision, the authority awards the TRS contract to Hamilton Relay, Inc. for the period of July 1st, 2022 through June 30, 2027. It's a 5-year contract. The authority also, in this decision, approves Hamilton Relay's proposal to subcontract with Solix, Inc. To provide the billing and collections services connected with the contract. And with that, I recommend adoption of the decision to the panel. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I will so move, Madam Chairman.
Second.
Thank you. The decision has been regularly moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'd take the roll, please.
Chairman Gillette,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Bukowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Thank you. The decision has been adopted. Thank you, Mr. Don Francisco.
Okay.
Return to the fourth item on today's regular calendar, docket number 211013, the allocation of public educational and governmental programming and education technology investment account, also known as PEGpedia, pursuant to Connecticut General Statute Section 16331 CC. So I'll turn to the Authority's General Counsel, Mr. Scott Muska, for a presentation of this decision, please.
Good morning, Commissioners. Docket 211013 is a proceeding that PURA opened to manage the allocation of grants from the Public Educational and Governmental Programming and Educational Technology Investment Account, otherwise known as PEGpedia. PEGpedia was established by statute under Congen Stat 16-331CC, which provides that the authority shall expend funds from the account to support public educational and governmental programmers and studio operators, otherwise known as PEG grants, as well as to fund education technology initiatives, otherwise known as ETI grants. The funding, the amount of funding accrued through 2021 is approximately $2.6 million. The authority received 97 qualifying applications by the January 31st, 2022 deadline. For PEG grants, we received 42 applications totaling $4.4 million in requested funds. By statute, 50% of the PEGpedia funds, or in this case, about $1.3 million, are available for PEG grants. Given the $4.4 million in requests and only $1.3 million in funding, the decision makes a pro rata allocation of the funding using a declining block methodology. The largest grant available in the decision is $44,000. For grants for entities that are not specifically public educational or governmental entities, those grants were capped at $8,000. The purpose of this was to prioritize funding for the public educational and governmental programmers and studio operators. For the ETI grants, we received 55 applications totaling approximately $5.8 million in requested funding. Again, by statute, 50% of the PEGpedia funds, or $1.3 million, is available for the ETI grants. Therefore, similar to the PEG grants, they were allocated on a pro rata basis, with the largest grant being $24,300. So these grants fully disperse the $2.6 million in funding available through the PEGpedia account.
Thank you, sir. So I will seek a motion to adopt the decision.
I move adoption, Madam Chairman.
I would second, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. The decision has been regularly moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, I ask Mr. Bubman to please take the roll.
Chairman Gillette,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Bukowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Thank you. The decision has been adopted. We'll turn next to the consent calendar for today. There are 13 items on the consent calendar. May I seek a motion, please?
Madam Chairman, I move adoption of today's consent calendar.
Second, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Consent calendar has been regularly moved and seconded. I would ask Mr. Bumpin to please take the roll.
Chairman Gillette,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Bukowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Thank you. The consent calendar has been adopted in full. That brings us to the end of today's regular meeting agenda. We will adjourn. We will reconvene next Wednesday, May 4th at 10 a.m., also by remote teleconference. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you.